Today we continue Ariyavasa Sutta. First we have to recite Ariyavasa Sutta Pali. Can you follow me? Tassa ime bhagave Ariyavasa Yeriya Awasain Suwa Awasandiwa Awasaisandiwa Katame Tassa Ida Bhagave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vipina Hoti Chalinga Samanagato Ekareko Chatura Pasino Panona Pichega Sicho Samawaya Satesano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singaro Sui Moda Jaito Sui Moda Binyo Mazi Sierra aphorism, can you follow me? To abandon the five factors, to be fulfilled with the six factors, and one protection, to depend on the four supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, and well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. 10 Ariyavasa. Number 3, Ekareko. 1 protection. Satarakina Jitasa Samanagata Hoti. Bhikkhu practitioner is endowed with a mind guided by mindfulness. Yogi, you have to try your best to have your mind guarded. If guarded only partially, then try your best to get your mind fully guarded. Without mindfulness, our mind is always exposed to all kinds of mental defilements, and we cannot become a Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. If we do not become Ariyas, we do not possess the abode of noble ones. If we do not have vipassana knowledge, progress, we will not get Ariya house, the abode of noble ones, as a rental. So Mahasi Sayadaw composed a verse: be mindful of whatever manifested, be guarded by mindfulness at all times. So in this verse, the phrase, whatever manifested, We need to understand, yogi need to be mindful of all the phenomena manifested every time. Early morning you wake up, open the eye, you see. Whenever you see, whenever you hear, whenever you smell and you taste, whenever you touch, whenever you go, whenever you come, whenever you bend, whenever you stretch, whenever you think, whenever you analyze, whenever you feel numb, whenever you feel painful, whenever you become discouraged and depressed, whenever you happy, and so on. All the time, yogi need to be mindful. To have the kinds of mindfulness, you come to this intensive retreat. Only then yogi can be considered to have your minds guarded by mindfulness. So the more continuous the mindfulness, the better your concentration, and the better your concentration, the sharper your insight knowledge. So there is a fact. Many yogis verify day by day, yogi become mindful of every phenomena manifested without missing any of them. So such mindfulness is honored as a single God, a feature of the abode of noble ones. So yogi try to put effort in the development of mindfulness so that yogi can dwell in the Ariyavasa peacefully and gracefully. Yogi need to be happy that you are very fortunate to live, to meet the Buddha dispensation, and you will surely to live in that Ariyavasa. So how can it be possible for yogis to dwell in the abode of noble ones? Because yogi not become Ariya yet. But there is an analogy. There are many mansions and good houses that don't belong to us, but we can stay there as long as we can pay. You want to stay a few days, a few months, a few years. In the same way, we can stay in the abode of noble ones as long as we can pay as a rental. So we have to pay in terms of faith, aspiration, and effort. So faith is very important. You will put all the efforts to possess that Ariyavasa because you have strong faith. So if yogi have faith, aspiration, and effort, yogi try to get every opportunity to develop mindfulness by noting going, when going, etc. Every moment of mindfulness means the moment you dwell in the abode of noble ones. So one moment you note, one moment you dwell in the Ariyavasa. 2 moments you note, you mindful, you 2 moments you dwell in the Ariyavasa. So the longer you are mindful, the longer you can dwell in the abode of noble ones. So by noting and by contemplating the phenomena, what are the benefits? What are the benefits of dwelling in Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones? Freedom from 4 woeful states. It is the greatest benefits. Of course, you can get these benefits without practice, and the practice may not necessarily take long to bring us such great benefits. So in the story of Tambadatika, the executioner, he mindful only just few minutes. He mindful, and then he can stay in the Ariyavasa. The story again, we need to listen. During the time of the Buddha, there lived in the city of Rajaga a public executioner called Tambadatika. He was responsible to execute thieves and robbers who were sentenced to death by the law courts. As a first effort in his career, he executed 2,000 criminals. Later on, he had to execute at least 1 or 2 criminals almost every day. So in this way, he had carried out his duty for 55 years until he was too weak, not very strong, getting old. So he had to retire from the service. So on the day of his retirement, he made preparation to urgently to enjoy 4 particular things that were not allowable to an executioner. Make porridge cooked with ghee, brand new garments, jasmine flower, and fragrant lotions. So this prohibition would seem funny to modern people, but in those days, an executioner might be considered to be too inferior to enjoy them. Anyhow, it is human nature to think highly of something forbidden and to long for that. So on the day he was retired, Tambadatika planned to fulfill his long suppressed desire. He asked his wife, "Today I want to take milk porridge. So cook milk porridge for me. I will go for bathing in the river." So he went bathing in the river. After bathing, he wore brand new clothes, applying fragrant lotion to his entire body and decorated himself with jasmines. When he was back home, he was well prepared to enjoy the milk porridge. At that moment, Venerable Sariputra surveyed the world, and he became aware through his supernatural power that Tambadatika was about to enjoy the milk porridge he had longed for past 55 years. And also he saw Tambadatika would die very soon afterwards and be reborn in the hell, like a warrant issued for his arrest as a result of his evil deeds done for 55 years. So out of compassion, Venerable Sariputra, with the purpose to do something for salvation of Tambadatika, went there right away and stopped for alms right in front of Tambadatika when he was then about to enjoy the milk porridge. If Tambadatika had lacked faith, he would even felt annoyed by Venerable Sariputra. He may criticize. But now Tambadatika felt very glad to see Venerable Sariputra. He thought like this: what a fortunate I am. I saw Venerable Sariputra many times before, but had nothing to donate him. Now I've got something to donate him. And Venerable Sariputra is standing right in front of me. What an opportune moment it is. He thought in Yoniso Manasikara, wise reflection. With such wholesome reflection, he invited Venerable Sariputra in and offered the milk porridge respectfully. So Tambadatika, endowed with strong faith, offered the milk porridge before he enjoyed it, even though it was the food he had longed for many years. Then Tambadatika attended to Venerable Sariputra meal. By sitting nearby and fanning him, he felt very hungry and desperate to enjoy the porridge. So Venerable Sariputra noticed of that, and Venerable Sariputra let him go somewhere and enjoy the food. Having satisfied himself with the food, Tambadatika came back and sat nearby, respectfully to listen to the sermon that Venerable Sariputra was going to deliver. The Buddhist sermons are deep and profound. Venerable Sariputra gave him a sequential sermons, Anupavagata, Dhanagata, Silagata, Sagagata, and Megagata, etc. First, generosity. Then moral conduct that included precepts: not killing, not stealing, not do sexual misconducts, not telling lies, and not taking intoxicant. By performing dana and sila, by observing sila, and by performing dana, he or she will be reborn in the celestial realms. Dandagata, Silagata, Sagagata, and then Megagata. By developing Vipassana, by developing mindfulness, and by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, he or she realized Nibbana, cessation of all suffering, that is Megagata. So Venerable Sariputta delivered sequential summons to Tambadatika. Indeed, Tambadatika, listening to such a solemn and sublime sermon, felt immensely remorse about the unwholesome deeds he had done for last 55 years. Then Venerable Sariputta, aware of that, and he asked Tambadatika, why you do not appear to be paying attention to the sermon? Tambadatika confessed, yes, the talk you deliver is so profound, but I have a lot of remorse and anxiety. I'm not very happy because I've done a lot of misdeeds. I killed many people as an executioner for last 55 years. Then Venerable Sariputta asked Tambadatika, Tambadatika, you had committed these evil deeds of your own free will? The executioner replied, I carry out the order of the king against my will. He answered. Then Venerable Sariputta asked a tactful question. Tambadatika, then how could these evil deeds be yours? So we should here consider Venerable Sariputta question carefully. Sariputta did not deny that Tambadatika was morally responsible for the execution of the convict. He simply asked a tactful question with the purpose to ease Tambadatika conscience and to make him attentive to the sermon. In reality, an evil deed is an evil deed, no matter whether it is committed of your own accord or as someone else's instigation. Of course, the karmic consequences can be grave or light, depending on the degree of violation associated with deeds. But Tambadatika had no knowledge of this fact, so he innocently concluded that it was only the king who was responsible for these misdeeds. I carry out the order of the king, so all unwholesome deeds belong to the king. Dhammadadika concluded in this way. So this conviction helped him overcome his anxiety so that he could listen to the sermon delivered by Venerable Sariputra attentively. When Venerable Sariputra was delivering the sermon, Dhammadadika listened the sermon attentively and contemplating. So how long it take? Maybe a few minutes. But he practiced Ariyavasa very well. He listened the sermon attentively. He contemplating the phenomena attentively for the few minutes. Eventually, he attained a certain stage of insight knowledge called Anuloma Jnana, conformity knowledge. No mega, just Anuloma Jnana. So it is difficult to determine exactly which conformity insight knowledge Dhammadadika attained. In this case, Dhammavada commentary described it as the insight knowledge close to the Sotapaddi Mega, first stage of enlightenment. Accordingly, it should be considered the advanced level of Sankarupika Jnana, knowledge of equanimity to formation, that is quite close to the attainment of Sotapaddi Mega Jnana. Obviously, our Bodhisattva in the earlier period of fulfilling Parami's perfection, he gained Anuloma Jnana. That Jnana refers to the advanced level of Sankarupika Jnana. So the Anuloma Jnana, knowledge of conformity, that Dhammadadika attained should be considered the same as Bodhisattva Anuloma Jnana. So as mentioned before, if you are mindful of whatever manifested to you, your mind would be well guarded against mental defilements. So from this point of view, Dhammadadika's Anuloma Jnana can possibly be any stage of Vipassana insight knowledge, at the very least, the Sammasana Jnana, knowledge of comprehension. In any case, one thing we can say for sure that Dhammadadika was able to develop mindfulness as a single God up to a certain stage of vipassana insight knowledge. So, Venerable Sariputta concluded his talk because he was sure that this much insight knowledge is enough for Dhammadadika to be well guarded against woeful rebirth. Then Venerable Sariputta left the house and Dhammadadika saw him off to some distance. On the way back home, Dhammadadika was gored to death by a cow. And it is said that the cow was an ogress in disguise who killed Dhammadadika in revenge for the harm Dhammadadika had done to her in a previous life. That is what the Dhammapada commentary says. But of course, skeptics would like to consider it just an ordinary cow. We have to say this because modern people would analyze whether it is sensible for an ogress to disguise herself as a cow. From their perspective, you may take it as an ordinary cow or a cow possessed by an ogress. Anyhow, what the commentary says is that the cow was an ogress in disguise. So Dhammadadika was gored to death by the cow, and he died. Why he was gored to death by the cow? He was gored to death by the cow because of his bad karma in his previous life. In one of his previous existences, Dhammadadika was the son of a rich man. And Dhammadadika and other three friends who are the sons of rich men brought a woman. And the four men had pleasure with that woman and robbed jewelry from her and killed her. So when the woman was about to die, she saw they are very bad people. They brought me here and they enjoy with me and they robbed me and finally they killed me. Let it be this time. In future existence, may I kill them as an ogress many times. So because of that karma, that the woman had to kill these four men as an ogress many times. But in samsara, Our lives are ups and downs. We have done good deeds and bad deeds mixed. These 4 men have done misdeeds with that woman, but some lives they may have done good deeds. So during the time of the Buddha, these 4 rich men became 4 persons. They are Pokutsati, Bahiya Darusiriya, Dambadatika, and Sobaboda. So when you study in the text, you may learn these 4 people story very interesting. So these 4 men, Pokusati, Bhaya Darusiriya, Dambadanika, and Sobaboda, were galled to death by the cow, which was an ogress. So in this point, we need to understand that woman bearing a grudge, swearing to take revenge to these bad people are not very profitable. Because in their last existence, that woman have to kill Bhaya Darusiriya, who was an Arhan. He had to kill Pogusadi, who was an Anagami. He had to kill Sobaboda, who was Sotabana. And he had to kill Tambadadiga, who attained Vipassana insight knowledge, Anulomanyana, who was an Pudujana. So killing an Arhan, killing an Anagami, killing a Sotabana, killing and the person who gained Vipassana insight knowledge heavy karma. Bhaya Daruchiriya and Pradivana, when he died, because he was an Arhan, Pogusadi became Sodawasa Brahma, because he was an Nagami, and he will be destined to become Arhan later. Sobaboda, the leper who died as a Sotabana, he was reborn in Tawadesa celestial realms. And Dambadadiga now was called to death by that ogress. Became celestial beings in Tusita Deva realms. So Keli and Arhan is heinous crime. There are 5 things that are heinous crime. Most heinous crimes: Madhukadaga, killing one's own mother; Pidukadaga, killing one's own mother; Arandagadaga, killing one's own, killing an Arhan, and causing the blood to be congealed in the body of the Buddha by wounding him. It is heinous crime. And causing schism in the members of the Sangha, it is a heinous crime. So that lady, that woman had to get Arhan, etc. and to take revenge to them. So big heinous crime she have done. So the death of Dambadharika was the topic of conversation among the monks. So they are talking about Dambadharika. Dambadharika today passed away. He had done a lot of misdeeds for 55 years. So where he reborn, the monks are talking about Dambadharika. At that time, Buddha came to this place and they asked Buddha where the Dambadharika was reborn. And these monks were surprised when the Buddha told them about his rebirth in Thuzana realms. Thuzana realms is the number 4 of 6 heavenly realms, which were reputed as the abode of Bodhisattva. 6 Deva realms are Chatumarajika, 1 Tawadesa, number 2 Yama, number 3, and Thuzana, number 4, Nimararati, number 5, Emperor Nimita Vasavati, number 6 Deva realms, and Dambadharika was reborn in the number 4 Thuzana celestial realms. So the monks asked the Buddha, Bande, how could it be possible for an executioner to be reborn in Thuzana realms after having killed many people for 55 years? So the Buddha explained that, don't have any doubt, he was reborn in the Thuzana Deva realms because Dambadharika at the last moment of his life met a Kalyanamitta, good friends. Venerable Sariputta, who someone helped him acquire Anulomanyana, knowledge of conformity. Buddha said to the monks, as a result, Dambadharika got a narrow escape from hell and was reborn in Thuzana Deva realms instead. So in this regard, Buddha spoke, Supasita Sunitwana Nagare Chora Garako Anuloma Kandain Ladana Modadi Titiwungato. That means the executioner of the city of Rajagha, having learned the holy teaching, attains Anuloma Kanti and enjoys himself in the heaven of Thuzana. So this story you can find in Dhammavada commentary. This story bears evidence that the God of mindfulness is reliable, dependable, even under such a critical condition, and that mindfulness may not necessarily take you very long to develop, and enjoy such great benefits of mindfulness. Without the mindfulness God, Dambadariga would certainly have been reborn in the hell right after his death, because his unwholesome deeds had been ready to pull him down to the hell. However, fortunately, Dambadariga acquired the God of mindfulness, and his unwholesome deeds could not pull him down to the hell like someone who took refuge in a foreign embassy and got an escape from arrest. So Dambadariga got a narrow escape from the hell. Moreover, he even attained the blissful rebirth of Tusita Deva realms. How amazing it is to have mindfulness as God. So you will be guaranteed a blissful rebirth if you develop mindfulness zealously and wholeheartedly. Some dedicated yogis said from their experience that when they were seriously ill, they found themselves to become mindful spontaneously, and that helped endure their pains. Having been well trained in the development of mindfulness, yogi can be spontaneously mindful, as in the case of a Brahmin lady called Dhananjani, a Sotapanna. On one occasion, Dhananjani's husband warned her, "Hey Dhananjani, don't speak anything in praise of the Buddha while we were serving the Brahmin teachers with lunch." So the husband warned Dhananjani, who was Sotapanna. Yet, when Dhananjani tripped and felt painful, she was mindful spontaneously. As soon as she felt painful, what she happened, she mindful spontaneously. Subsequently, she recollected the Buddha qualities and happened to utter thrice the prayer Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times. She recollected the virtues of the Buddha. That means I pay homage to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, who is free from all mental defilements and do the fully self-enlightened one. Dhananjani recollected the virtues of the Buddha when she tripped and felt painful. So in this regard, when you painful, you automatically mindful or not. So Venerable Nyatiya said that Abode me samupane sati me udapijata abado me samupano kalo me pamijito. When you felt painful, you become mindful spontaneously, and you aware, you reflect. It is not the time to be forgetful. It is to be mindful, to be aware of the painful sensation. So we die one day, and at that moment, sickness will overwhelm. At that moment, what we have to rely on, we have to do charity at that moment, or we have to take precepts, or we have to listen the Dhamma chanting. So Venerable Marci Sayadaw encouraged that it is not enough just by performing charity, by observing sila, and by listening to the chanting. It is necessary to be aware of the presently arising unpleasant sensation and comprehend clearly the true nature of the unpleasant sensation. Now here, the Ninjani, when she tripped over and she felt painful, she spontaneously mindful. So in the same way, when yogi practice zealously, the mindfulness would automatically arise in the event of suffering, even on one's deathbed. As a result, yogi can be free from woeful states and instead gain a blissful rebirth. So mindfulness is an amazing and reliable guide, an essential feature of the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. There are many people who have never experienced the benefits of mindfulness clearly. So we have to encourage them to give a try to the development of mindfulness seriously. Our words may sound somewhat like advertising a product. Sale personnel, for example, have to advertise their products to boost the public awareness of its qualities. If it is a cake, for instance, they would mention, they would advertise how delicious their cake is. If fabrics, they would tell people how beautiful and durable the fabric is, and something like that. However, when people become familiar with your product, they would buy it willingly. You don't need to tell them anymore about how good it is. So in the same way, the meditation practice. We have to inspire people to try practicing before they are well aware of the benefits of practice. Once they have experienced the benefits of mindfulness, they will find they will have faith in the practice. And there are times when we even have to request the long-time yogis, long-time meditators, not to take a retreat at the time because retreats are fully booked. Crowded yogis are there. So even then, yogis make a humble request for a retreat, 2-month retreat, etc. Because they mentioned it is a rare chance for them to take an intensive retreat. Of course, there are those who have experienced the benefits of mindfulness and know how peaceful to live in the Ariyavasa. So yogi have to try diligently to possess Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, forever. If you attain Mega Jnana, Sotapaddi Mega Jnana, etc., you own the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, forever. If you have progress in Vipassana insight knowledge, like Dhammadhattika, Anuloma Jnana, etc., you get Ariyavasa as a rental for temporary, not forever. So yogi have to own Ariyavasa forever. So yogi try hard, diligently to dwell in the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. So we have to stop our discourse for today. We will continue next time by developing mindfulness, by practicing Vipassana meditation continuously and meticulously. May you get the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, as a rental by attaining Megaphala Jnana. May you own the Ariya house forever. May you be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So, we have to recite Mahasatipatthana Odisa Bali. Ekayano ayam bhikkhave Mego Satanam Visuddhiyam Soga Paridevanam Samadegamaya Dukkha Domanasana Atingamaya Nyayasa Adigamaya Nivanasa Sachikiriyaya Yadidam Chataro Satipatthana Tatame Chataro Ita Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Kaye Kayanubasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima Vineya Loke Avijja Domanasam Vedanasu Vedananubasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima Vineya Loke Avijja Domanasam Chaita Chaitanubasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima Vineya Loke Avijja Domanasam Dhammesu Dhammanubasi Viharati Atapi Sambhajano Satima Vineya Loke Avijja Domanasam. English translation. This is the only way, bhikkhus, for the purifications of beings, overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for the disappearance of pain and grief, for the realizations of nirvana, namely the four foundations of mindfulness. Here in the teaching, bhikkhus, twice contemplating the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Thus contemplating the Dhamma and the Dhammas, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Honoring and sharing merits. Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipadiya Bodham Bujemi Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipadiya Dhamma Mujemi Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipadiya Sangha Mujemi Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipadiya Mata Bidara Pujemi Imaya Dhamma nu Dhamma Patipadiya Acariye Pujemi Adaimaya Patipadaya Jalamarana Parimojai Sami Idame Punya Asawakaya Waham Odu Dame Silam Megavala Nyanasa Vajaya Du Imana Punya Bhagam Sava Sadhana Dema Save Sada Sugita Ondu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu